Well, you guys, it is 24 hours, actually a little bit longer than 24 hours, after the Great One Jaguars came into existence here in the Hunter Call of the Wild. And I am officially almost 100 kills into my grind already. I have shot 9 legendaries. Can you believe that? 9 legendaries. Now, only 4 or 5 of them actually made diamond, but I have taken down 9 max level animals already. This grind is so much fun, but it is so difficult. It is stupid. It is actually stupid how difficult this grind is. It's a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. But my method is working, and it's working very, very good. And in this video, I have 5 crucial tips for you that I didn't explain in my Great One Jaguar guide that you are going to need to know to take your experience to the next level here in Intsuyu with the Great One Jaguar grind. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay guys, so coming in at number 5 here on our list today, the top 5 best tips and tricks for the Great One Jaguar grind is going to be to use my hotspot map. Don't worry, the tips are going to get a lot more detailed than this. This is just number 5. The reason I'm putting this on this list is because of the fact that before I actually sat down with my little virtual pen and paper thing on my PC and started to cross off the lakes that I just would not find jaguars at, period, and my community would not find jaguars at, period, I was running around and wasting so much time going to lakes that jaguars couldn't even be at, because I was told they could just be on the right-hand side of the map. Well, I played for over 12 hours yesterday and I discovered that it's actually a lot better than we thought. Jaguars kind of stick to little clumps. There's a little clump of lakes down in the bottom right, little clump in the middle, and a little clump in the upper right. And the coast is the main deal, obviously. So it's really not that bad. There's really not that many locations where we can find jaguars at. Now I'm going to talk about some changes I've made in my setup and what I'm doing here in a little bit when we get to tip number 3. But if you join my Discord server, the link down below, not only do I have a hotspot map for jaguars, but my community has helped me put together hotspot maps strictly from you guys' input. This is an input of over probably 150 different players, so they are superiorly accurate, not just my experience. Again, over 100 players' experience. Input, blood, sweat, and tears went into making these things. They're in the hotspot map section over in my Discord server. Now we'll have a full-blown hotspot map for Peru coming soon. So yeah, use the hotspot map. That will help you waste so much less time. Because I literally shot 20 jaguars in 2 hours yesterday. As soon as I started sitting down to make my map and I actually narrowed it down and finished my map, I immediately went up to like 60 kills in an hour. Hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere's in that range. It is phenomenal. Coming in to tip number 4 here on our list today is going to be some general tips to get your respawns to spawn in instantly. So obviously this grind isn't really like the fallow deer grind where you can just teleport to a tent and typically your herd will be visible from your tent, right? And if they're not spawned in, you can 1-minute trick, you can main menu, etc. But for the jaguar grind, without an insane amount of luck, there's really no way to tell if your jags are spawned in or not because they won't just be standing right outside of your tents. So what I've been doing is this specific process. I'll go to an outpost that's far away from all of the locations that jags can be, typically on the far left-hand side of the map. I will set the time to 23:04. As soon as I spawn back in from resetting the time, I will immediately main menu. Once I spawn back into the game, I then go back inside of the outpost, set the time to 2300, so 4 minutes backwards, and then I go to my first zone. That has been working for me almost every single time. I have not had an issue with inconsistent jaguar spawns yet. I've had an issue with jumpers because that's kind of like the whole method of this grind is shoot your coast till the jumpers jump, go shoot the jumpers, they jump back. Pretty dang simple. It's just extremely time consuming. And having consistent respawns without having to deal with stupid jags not spawning in an hour before the end of their drink time stuff, that's just a big pain in the butt. This has been working for me very, very consistently for a long time now. So yeah, hopefully that'll help with you guys' respawns. Coming in at tip number 3 here on our list today is going to be to learn your map. Now, this is where I said we're going to go into a little bit more on the changes that I've made with my grind. Okay, so this is how my setup's kind of looking now. It is a little bit different from what I might have been showing in my Discord server last night, and definitely what I showed in the guide yesterday. Like I said, before I was wasting so much time going to all these lakes that jaguars couldn't drink at just because I couldn't remember. I really couldn't remember. I would hit these lakes, and realistically the smartest thing for me to do should have immediately been to just start crossing lakes off that Jags can't be at. But no, I just continued to keep going to them, because I'm a massive time waster. And I was kind of excited, so yeah, you can't blame me. I wanted to start shooting, man. But this specific setup for exterior zones has been working absolutely perfectly for me. Mind you, this is the map tent limit. All 16 tents are placed on my map right now. So you could copy this setup. The coast setup has been working absolutely perfectly for me. But in order to have success with this grind, you need to get yourself a method smacked down. And this is probably the most demanding grind for that specific process that has ever come to the game, period. A lot of people are struggling with this right off the bat. A lot of people are saying, Squid, your method is absolutely terrible. Nope, you just have to understand what you're doing, my friends. Let me walk you through slowly what I do. So, when I hop on, and I haven't even done a rotation yet, it's currently 9:30 in the morning where I'm from, I immediately will get my time reset, and I'll head down to this tent here. I will do 2 rotations up the coast, 2 full rotations, and what I mean by rotations is I'm simply fast traveling up the coast and shooting every single male that I see on my coast 2 times in a row, so 2 time resets in a row. And what I'm doing while I'm doing these rotations is I'm actually starting at a tent, spotting and waypointing out to about render distance. See this tent, I can see to render distance, so we're good here, no Jags. I'm immediately jumping ahead. As soon as I spawn in, at every single one of my tents, I repeat this exact same process. I spot behind me, all the way out to render distance. See, look at that, there's a female right there. I don't shoot the females. And then for this specific tent, I have to run around the corner here. And then I'll be able to see way the heck down. And I'm literally just repeating this process of spotting and running. And unfortunately, this grind has a lot of running and spotting. It's just how this grind works. All the way down to the very, very end of the coast. Now, I will have to reset the time like once or twice in the process of rotating down this coast. It's just a time-consuming process. So mind you that, you could set the time earlier, but then you could be risking inconsistent spawns. So that's a choice you can make. After I do 2 rotations all the way down the coast, from that point, I start up here at this tent. This is when I pull open my hotspot map, because I've highlighted all the lakes that jaguars can be found at, and the little portion of the river that jaguars can be found at, so that way I'm not wasting time when I'm running around exterior zones. This grind, it's almost like every single zone on your map is a main zone. You really don't have exteriors because you hunt exteriors so freaking much. Even if my coast is consistent with males on it for 4 or 5 rotations, I still will hunt exteriors every 2 rotations, just because the males are so easy to find at these lakes. So essentially, you could say I'm doing kind of an all-lake method here, but obviously, judging by my setup, the main focus here is definitely the coast. I have like 11 tents on it, bro. Now, a lot of people will initially have more males on their coast than others. I had mainly females on my coast, which made it a big pain, but as soon as I started to hunt exterior zones, males started to jump over, females started to jump out, and vice versa. I started to find diamonds like crazy. In fact, 2 of my guaranteeds were on this river here. Up to this tent right here to the left is extremely, extremely good for jags. Would strongly suggest that if you're just a casual hunter. But in general, it is so important to learn your map. If you could do 4 rotations up and down the coast with good respawns, then you might as well. You really, really might as well do it if that's what works for you. For me, 2 in the exteriors is the sweet spot. Okay guys, so coming in at tip number 2 here on our list today is going to be to use this specific loadout. So my loadout for jaguars consists of the Arzina 300 and the Malamar 7mm. Both are rocking the polymer tip bullets and the Odin sight specifically. We're going to talk about why the Odin here in a couple minutes. And then for the binos, I'm bringing with me the Gen Zeros. That is literally all I carry besides tents and tripods for my jaguar grind. Now, I would strongly suggest to you that you use the Malamar 7 and the Arzina 300 to grind jaguars. The Malamar 7mm is such a versatile gun. You can shoot a bighorn ram with it and turn around and drop a bison with it. So you can imagine for class 6 jaguars, the 7 mag is going to do an amazing job. The Malamar specifically has 3 rounds, so I would strongly suggest it. The Arzina 300 completely and totally decimates them. This is for just those common jaguars that I'm sure aren't going to be a rare fur and aren't going to be a diamond, just to get them down as soon as possible, because tracking jaguars through this map, especially when you're out at exterior zones, is something you don't want to get caught up in. It is thick. When I say thick, probably probably the thickest map to ever come to Call of the Wild. Half the time I can't see 2 feet in front of me. But then you get up here and it's like, oh my gosh, this might be one of the most wide open. So yeah, this map is just, it's bipolar. Let's leave it at that. So you guys already seen the process of kind of how I'm using this loadout over there on the coast, but how I'm using it at these lakes is I'm dropping a waypoint right on the water's edge. I'm running up to about 164 meters from the waypoint. At that point, I'll crouch, so that way I don't spook the jags that are at the lake. Otherwise, they're probably just going to go aggressive, and I'm immediately spotting absolutely everything, at least the best you can in this vegetation, all the way up to the lake. And I'm just kind of spotting all around with the night vision binos. And it helps because the jags and just animals and movement in general will stick out like a sore thumb in these binos. As soon as I get sights on a jaguar, as soon, and I mean as soon, there's a female right here, I'll immediately make sure she's highlighted, or he's highlighted, grab my gun, pull it out, and this is where the Odin comes in. The scope is super, super wide open, super, super clear, and super, super smooth at night. I'd suggest you turn your light off, it helps a ton. And this is how I shoot at night. If I was using the night vision scope on my gun, I don't hit shots with that scope. It's not that I can't hit shots, I don't hit shots with that scope. If you've ever watched my videos, you know, Squid and the night vision scope just do not mix whatsoever. It doesn't zoom enough, it's like trying to use the original scope. So this is the way that I'm doing it. I think this will help a ton of console players. That's where I come from, is console playing. I used to play on PlayStation. So yeah, Squidster aim is a huge, huge meme in my community. It is, quite a wild thing. So yeah, this is the loadout that I'm using. It works perfectly fine. Unfortunately, there's no males here for me to use as a demonstration for you guys, but I was kind of hoping there would be. Oh well, go to another lake. And then coming in at the #1 tip to spawn yourself your first Jaguar Great One here in the Hunter Call of the Wild super fast is going to be a tip that I really wish I would have emphasized more in my original Great One guide, but I didn't have a ton of experience with the grind at the time of making it. I just knew that the method would work simply to shoot and claim them. This grind is probably #2 in the sense of difficulty here in the Hunter Call of the Wild. It's right behind Red Fox. Once you actually find the males, it's easy to shoot and claim them, but finding the males for this grind to shoot and claim is at a level of difficulty it's not gonna be comfortable for everyone. Now, I'm used to it, kind of, because I've suffered over 1,000 kills through the Red Fox grind. I've suffered hours of being an absolutely terrible casual hunter before I started getting into the game more, you know? For people that are coming from like the fallow grind or something, this is such a big difference, and even me, who's been fallow grinding for like the last few weeks, just switching back over to something this slow-paced is insane, dude. It is crazy how difficult this grind is. So tip #1 is to have patience. I need you guys to understand that this grind is not going to be easy. I've killed less than 100 in the last 24 hours. It is crazy, dude. It is absolutely insane. So please, guys, make sure you have patience with this grind. There is not going to be a home range in this map without some, like, mega genius that finds it. The map is just too big. It's pretty much, it's not going to be possible. There's not going to be a home range in this map. Not one that's consistent, anyways. If you're looking for extremely fast-paced Jaguar grinding, I hate to break it to you, but that's not going to be possible. The grind may just not be for you, my friends. But if you want the trophy bad enough, you have the patience, and you're ready for the thrill, this grind may be one of your favorite grinds ever. In fact, I am having a ton of fun with this grind, just because it's not so repetitive. Every single rotation is something different, because you never know where your animals are going to be. This grind is truly unique. Do not take it for granted, guys. Take your time, enjoy the grind while we have it. Enjoy the map also before you Great One grind a ton, because Great One grinding is super crap done right off the bat, can definitely burn you out. Little honorable mention tip there. But if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more content on the Great One Jaguar, more content on Peru in general, definitely let me know down below by smashing that like button and subscribing. As a 16-year-old content creator, I really do appreciate it, as my goal by the end of 2026 is 50,000 subscribers. We are on track to reaching it. In fact, we should exceed it. We only need about 10,000 subscribers over the summer. We just broke 39K, so thank you guys so much for that. That's like 1,000 subscribers in a week. You guys are crazy. I love you guys to death. As always, my name is Squid. You're watching Squidster Gaming, and we'll catch you guys in the next banger. Peace out, my gamers.